how it sheds light on the role of the artist, not just in the art world, but, the world as a whole.
Yeah, and I think one of the key takeaways here is that, Henri believed artists have this special art spirit,
Yeah,
right?
right, right.
This like heightened awareness, sensitivity that lets them see the world differently.
Yeah, and before, we were talking about how observation is crucial for developing that art spirit. But I'm kind of wondering, like, how does that apply to people who don't really see themselves as, artists in the traditional sense of the word?
That is such a good question because Henri didn't believe art was like limited to just studios and galleries.
Okay, yeah.
He saw it as like a way of life, like approaching everything with curiosity, openness, and this willingness to see the beauty in, just everyday stuff.
So even if we're not like painting or sculpting, we can still practice those same observational skills that, artists use.
Oh, totally. In Art Spirit, Henri talks about how artists train themselves to see the world with like fresh eyes, to notice the subtle nuances of light, color, form that other people just miss. And he really believed that anyone could cultivate that same kind of attentiveness, that appreciation for the details, by just making a conscious effort to pay attention.
So it's like a mindfulness practice almost.
Yeah, like instead of just going through the motions, on autopilot, you slow down. You really take in your surroundings.
Yeah, yeah.
And the more we practice that mindful observation, the more we start to see the world in a new light. We start to appreciate the beauty in the ordinary, the unexpected connections between things, the hidden patterns, stuff you only see if you're really paying attention.
That makes you think of what you said earlier about how Henri believed art could help us like make sense of the world, right?
Exactly.
It's like by honing our observation skills, we're not just seeing more clearly, but we're also understanding more deeply.
And that deeper understanding, that can lead to a sense of purpose, a feeling of connection to something bigger. It's like Henri saying, look, the world is full of wonder and meaning, but you got to be willing to look for it.
Man, that's inspiring. But I think for a lot of people, the idea of finding purpose through art can feel kind of intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not creative or I don't have any talent. Did Henri have any like advice for overcoming those kinds of, self-limiting beliefs?
He did. He believed everyone has that creative spark inside them, but it gets buried under like self-doubt, fear. He says the work of art is the result of a long series of efforts which may have begun in vagueness. The start is made in the artist's experience of life.
So it's not about like suddenly becoming some kind of virtuoso overnight. It's about trusting the process, allowing yourself to experiment, make mistakes even, and gradually uncovering your own like unique voice.
Yes, and he encouraged everyone to find their own unique form of creative expression. It doesn't have to be, the classic stuff, painting, sculpture.